Hey guys and dolls, today I'm going to be doing my first monthly Faves video in a very long time. I think the last one I did was in November. I don't know why I didn't do one for like the turn of the year or whatever. Anyway, today I'm going to be sharing with you a lot of my new favorite products. I've got a big mishmash. It kind of runs the whole gamut of beauty products. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive in so we have time to talk about everything. And the first thing I'm going to talk about, I'm sure you guys are like, you were well aware this is one of my favorites. I think it was like in everyone's favorite videos last month, the Naked 3 palette. This is the best neutral palette that's ever come out, just in terms of it being like an actual neutral palette. I do really love the Laura Mercier Artist palette, which isn't even available, and I don't even know why I'm bringing it up, but that one has more like purpley tones in it, whereas this is like a neutral kind of daytime, office-friendly, school-friendly, just, what's the word I'm looking for, effortless kind of makeup look, where you don't really have to think like, oh, well, what should I put on today? Just grab this palette, figure out some colors from it, and you're good to go. The packaging on this, of course, is gorgeous with its rose gold. I mean, do we really need to say why this is beautiful? Just look at it. One thing that's rare for me for these Naked palettes is I usually don't use like all the colors in the palette. I usually have a few that I kind of go to and then use with other things. But with this one, I use it all by itself. It's so good. I love it tremendously. And definitely one of my favorite makeup palettes of all time. The next thing I want to talk about are some brow products, and the first one is the Anastasia Brow Wiz. And I don't remember why I picked this up. I think it was at Sephora and I just kind of saw it there and was like, oh, that color kind of looks like it could work for me. Let's check it out. So the shade that I use is Medium Ash, and it's a really perfect match for my natural eyebrow tone, which I guess my own eyebrows are maybe a little bit more on the reddish tone, but because I dye my hair black and because my hair is naturally an ash blonde, I usually tend to go for more ash toned things. The pencil itself is really skinny, so it's great for doing individual brow hairs or doing the tail. I love it so much, and the color is so good. I have to tell you guys, I got this in like November, and ever since I got this, everyone's like, wow, your brows look, like even my best friend was like, I really enjoy your brows today, what's different? So I have to say it's a winner for me. The other thing I really like about it is I don't feel the need to use like a brow gel over it all the time. My eyebrows are not like super unruly, so I will usually just use this and then call it a day. Today I use brow gel just to like, you know, be perfect for camera or whatever. But just on an average day, I just use this one and done, and you gotta love that. One more thing I want to say about the Anastasia products is I feel like their brow colors are the most naturalistic. A lot of brow companies, you know, they have like 5 colors or something. They have a bigger shade range, and I just feel like they just go better, especially like a lot of brown colors will be very red toned, and it's just unfortunate because even people who have red tones in their hair don't always want red tones on their face. So gotta love the shade selection in that. So the next thing I want to talk about is another brow product, but I haven't been using it on my eyebrows. I'm so scandalous. So this product is the Milani Brow Tint Pen. I've had this for a while. I actually keep this stocked in my kit along with the darker one, and I really like the darker one, particularly for using on darker skin African American women. Have eyebrows where you want to have like a very natural kind of background type color. So what I'll do is I'll put the brow tint down, which is kind of translucent, put that down, create our basic brow shape, and then I'll go over it with a brow pencil to kind of fill in the natural hairs and things like that, or just anyone who has sparse brows, but particularly I love the dark pencil on darker skin ladies. But the natural taupe color is a little like orangey red. It's kind of a strange color, so I end up not really using this one very often. But I have been filling in my little freckles and my mole here a little bit more lately. I just am kind of embracing the fact that they're never going to go away, and just kind of being like, hey, you know, it's a feature of my face that no one else has. I've been filling this in with MAC's Lingering Pencil, which is a really perfect like freckle fill-in color. I still really recommend it. But I ran out of it, so I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do? So I rifled through my stash and found this guy, and I was like, all right, let's see what's up. So I tried it out on this little guy, and one thing I love is that it doesn't budge or smudge, just like it doesn't budge or smudge if you use it on the eyebrows. So I feel like very confident wearing it on my face to like fill in my freckles. So I'll fill in like these little 2 guys here and this one here, and who knows, maybe someday I'll like walk around with a full face of freckles. Anyway, just love that product, and it's inexpensive. It's available at the drugstore, so that's even better, right? So speaking of the drugstore, I have found a new lash glue that I really, really love. Now, in the past, I've talked about the House of Lashes lash glue, and I still really like this. It's a good product. The only issue for me is like I'm finding that like I'm about halfway through the tube now, and the brush is getting a little frayed, and it's really gummy, and I've had to clean the gumminess off from it a few times. And so I'm like, this is a pain, and like there's even like hairs that got stuck to it from it being in my makeup bag, which is really gross. The thing that is like kind of annoying to me about it is that you have to buy it online. I can't just be like, oh crap, I need lash glue. So recently I was on a job and I was like, oh crap, I need lash glue. So I went to the drugstore and picked this up. This is the Duo Brush-On Adhesive with Vitamins. It's I swear the same exact formula as the House of Lashes. It has that kind of cool, like, where it looks iridescent, and then as it dries down it becomes clear, so it's easier to indicate when it's, you know, time to make the lashes happen. So it's cheaper, it's available at the drugstore, and I think the tube's a bit bigger. Let's see. They don't have the same measurements on them. This is 5 grams and this is a milligram? I don't know. Whatever. It's cheap, it's at the drugstore. The convenience factor alone would make me get it. And I actually think that the brush on this is it's tighter to begin with. It's a very thin brush, so I hope it's not gonna fray like the House of Lashes one has done, but you know, even if it does, like I said, it's inexpensive. That's all, folks. A couple of weeks ago, Milani launched all these new lip products for spring, and it's a very big launch, and I'm gonna have a video all about them. I swatched them all in one night, which was a huge mistake, and my lips are raw, they're still healing. That's a whole other story for another time. So they came out with this new product called the Milani Lip Intense Liquid Color. And they come in little tubes like this, and they look like this. There's 4 colors, and this is so awesome. It's basically a liquid lipstick, and the color payoff is super intense. They feel nice on the lips. They're not super drying. They're not really hydrating either, but they feel nice, and they don't feel like weird, and so I've worn them out a bunch of times. If you like the NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams that come like this, you'll like these as well. It's a very similar product. In fact, I feel like such a dumb butt, but I was trying to, ooh, and I threw one. Okay, things are happening. I, you know, put one on. I'm like, what is this like? It even smells like this other product, and I couldn't remember what it was. And so I reached in my lip gloss drawer today to grab something out, which is where I keep the NYX ones. And I was like, oh yeah. So really an almost identical product. They smell like cupcakes, a little coconutty. I don't know. They smell divine design. So I will have swatches of these up in a review post, as well as like a whole review video in just a couple of days. It's taking me a little longer to process it because it's like, hello, so many swatches. Along with that launch of the new Milani lipsticks, there was this other one that came out called Pretty Natural, and I'm wearing it today. And it's just, oh my gosh, this is such a lovely shade of like pink. I love this color. It's just very naturalistic. It's not like natural in that it looks nude or that it not necessarily looks like my natural lip color. What I like about it is that it's pink, but it's not so pink that it competes with like colorful eye makeup. So I've been able to wear it with like pretty much everything, and it looks good. So this is definitely one that I would recommend picking up. It's the Pretty Natural from the new lipstick. So I had 2 foundation loves this month. One was new and one was kind of like a revisiting, so I'll talk about the new one first, and that's the NYX BB Beauty Balm. This isn't like the traditional Korean beauty balms where it has like sunscreen and like all this stuff going on in it. To me, it's basically a tinted moisturizer without sunscreen. I'm just being honest. However, I really like it, and when I was doing all the lip swatches and everything like that, I was able to put it on my skin without it feeling irritating on my skin, and it smooths out imperfections, just, you know, not like a crazy amount, but enough. And it's great for those days where you don't really feel like putting on a whole crap ton of makeup, but you're like, well, I could probably use a little evening out. So really like the blotting powder, I've been using these together, and I got the light medium shade, and in the BB cream I have Nude. And so here we go here. I just showed these in a haul a couple weeks ago. Really like these two together. Great for that kind of like, oh, I don't really have time to do makeup, but maybe I want to, you know, not walk out of the house with nothing on. Although I would just walk out of the house with nothing on because I'm just crazy like that. But lately I've been trying to make an effort to like at least put a little something on, so I'm always in the practice of doing makeup. So my next favorite of the month is the Naked Skin from Urban Decay, and I've had this now for I want to say like a year and a half, and I have the shade 0.5. But I had a little come to Jesus with myself recently when I realized this really was too light for my skin. And I don't know if my skin overall has darkened or something. I do know that when we went camping last summer, I got like a little bit of a tan and like some new freckles, and I was horrified at how excited I was about it because I'm a pale girl and I'm like all about being pale, and you know, I'm suddenly less pale, but I've noticed that I don't feel like my skin tone went all the way back to as fair as it used to be. So while this used to match me, it didn't anymore. So I was like, what is a girl to do? I recently went to Sephora and got a sample of the one shade, which is what I'm wearing today, and I really like it. I think it matches me really well. And because the foundation matches me better, I think it looks better in it. And it's so important to have your perfect shade of foundation, especially if you are going to be using one that's like a little bit on the lighter end, because when your natural color kind of breaks through the foundation, which inevitably it's going to do, it looks really, really bad. So I want to thank Caitlin at the Sephora Emeryville for giving me a sample of the one. Now I know, yes, this matches me. I like it. It looks good on camera. It looks good, you know, during the daytime. It looks good in the nighttime. It looks good all the time. I don't know why I'm singing a song. But yes, thank you, Caitlin. That helped me make my decision, because I need a tube of this in the correct color. My next favorite of the month is, it's a doozy. It's very expensive, you guys. And I wasn't going to buy this. I wasn't gonna buy it. I wasn't gonna buy it. My grandma gave me some Christmas money, so I was like, okay. So this is the Wayne Goss holiday brush that he came out with. Beautiful dome-shaped egg brush thingamajig. Now there are many, many dupes of this, and I'm trying to find some of the ones that I have. Hold please. You don't have to buy this $80 brush to get a similar effect. So here's a couple that I have. The MAC 138 brush. Oh, that's pretty much identical. And this one from Sigma, this is the F25, is very similar. Now I do want to say that the Wayne Goss is like the absolute finest in quality. It's just, oh, it's so good. Like, this is unbeatable. This is the best. It cost $80. There you go. The MAC one, the 138 brush, is the second runner-up. It's still excellent. This is what I use in my kit. It's just, it's lovely. I love it. And then the Sigma one, to me, if you ask me, it's a little bit scratchier than the one from MAC, but overall it's pretty good. It's not as good as holding its shape. You'll notice that like the MAC one, you know, has held that pointed shape. And by the way, this MAC 138 brush is old. I've had it for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years now, and it's holding its shape lovely. Whereas this one from Sigma is brand new and it already doesn't have its shape. So just saying. It's not a diss on Sigma. I love their brushes, but you know, gotta call a spade a spade. My last favorite of the month is a fragrance that I recently got, and I went into Nordstrom. I was looking for a totally different, unrelated fragrance, and my husband was in the area with me. We were shopping together, and he smelled this one and goes, oh honey, you gotta smell this. This smells really good. So, you know, when a man likes it that much, it's worth taking a sniff. So this is the Lanvin, I'm gonna butcher this, Éclat d'Arpège. Éclat d'Arpège by Lanvin. I don't think I'm saying that right, but it's really beautiful fragrance. They have this like special edition packaging that has like a little face on it. If you ask me, what this smells like is Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue mixed with Dolce & Gabbana, the D&G No. 3 L'Impératrice fragrance that they had. Oh my god, it smells good. P.S. Those are like 2 of my favorites. So I'm obsessed with this, and this came out before L'Impératrice, but I don't think it came out before Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, or they came out around the same time. So it has that sort of like lemony, citrus opening with like a little bit of lilac, and then as it wears, it kind of turns into like a white floral with a peachy kind of smell. It smells so good. The only thing that kind of sucks is that it doesn't have like a very long wear time, and it doesn't have a lot of stylage? Is that like where people around you can smell it? It's kind of like more of like a personal, not so long lasting perfume, which sucks because it's really expensive, but I love it. It smells so good. Like, I could just spray it on myself all day, and I don't normally, even with fragrances I really, really like, I don't usually get that excited. So absolutely love this. Definitely go give it a whiff. It's pretty good stuff. Love it a lot. So those are all my favorites for the month. There is one other thing I want to talk about, and that is the headphones that I talked about in my Christmas haul. And the reason why I want to talk about them is because I ended up not liking them so much. And because I, you know, made this whole big deal about them on YouTube and stuff, I just kind of felt like maybe I needed to kind of do an update with that. So I just found that the sound on them wasn't top notch. Like, my husband got a new iPod for Christmas, and the earbuds from that had better sound than those really expensive ones from Frends. And so that was really disappointing to me, so I returned those bad boys because I don't think I need to spend $200 on headphones that don't sound as good as some iPod, earpod, bud, whatever they call them. There you have that as my monthly favorites. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I haven't done a monthly favorites in a really long time, so I had my favorites were like all over the place. It was like lip products, foundation, eyelash glue, what? So I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Remember to be vintage or tacky, just be yourself. See you, bye.